Hello everyone and welcome to a brand new mini-series which will take place over the next few months, possibly almost a year. It's going to be only a few episodes, but we're going to spread them out and hopefully they'll be fun to watch and enjoy. Now, as you know, on the channel we have done two videos in the past covering the two F1 games that never got made, that never existed, never happened. F1 2007, F1 2008. Now in this video and in this series we are going to be covering the games that do exist, but they have essentially been remastered, as we are going to be racing F1 2006 down to F1 2000 in essentially a 7-part series, give or take. So today we're starting out with F1 2006, which of course had two games, the regular F106 and F1 Championship Edition. If you're going to enjoy the video, guys, like and subscribe, and let's get into it, starting off with the grid rundown. We begin with back markers. Super Aguri, of course, a new team on the grid in 2006, the first year with the V8s, and essentially Honda's B-Spec team. This basically was driven by Takuma Sato, and then the second car would often change between different drivers throughout the season. They weren't very quick, the livery changed a lot, and generally a year to forget. We then go to Midland, and of course they bought out Jordan after 2005, hoping to kind of, inject some cash, improve things, but generally it was more of the same and turned into Spiker in 2007, driven by Christian Albers and Thiago Montero. We then go to Toro Rosso, the last of the new teams on the block for 2006. Of course, this team was quite unique because Red Bull arrived the year before and bought out Jaguar. For this year, they bought out Minardi and renamed it Toro Rosso, and they were the only team on the grid to still run a V10 engine, the last car to ever have that engine. However, it was rev limited to basically compete with the V8s. Next up, the sister team, Red Bull, the main team, of course, driven by Christian Klein and David Coulthard. After a successful debut in 2005, they looked to hopefully improve in 06, but it wasn't really the case and actually had a worse year than their debut season, the highlight being, I believe, David Coulthard's podium in Monaco in 3rd place. We then go to Williams, and of course that was a year 06 where we then go to Williams, and 2006 was the beginning of the downward trend for them, in my opinion. I think 05 was rough, but they looked okay. There was, signs of promise in 06, but generally the first year after they split with BMW, of course BMW going to Sauber, which we'll get into in just a bit. Rosberg made his debut in Formula 1 as a rookie alongside Mark Webber, and they had Cosworth engines, the famous Cosworth Williams, which revved up to 20,000 RPM with that initial V8. And, there were little patches like Monaco where they might have got a podium, but they started to really fall off during this era with Cosworth post BMW fallout. We then go to Honda, or BAR. The last year they were actually recognised or known as BAR, British American Racing. After 2006 into 07, they became Honda Works and basically lost their sponsorship due to lack of results and funding. Either way, Rubens Barrichello made the switch from Ferrari to Honda Power alongside Jenson Button, of course, who was at the team. JB finally gets his first win this season in Hungary, and it wasn't actually a great year for them. They were stronger, better, faster in the back end of the V10 era in 04, 05, but they still won a race and had their moments. Then we go to Toyota, Ralf Schumacher, Jarno Trulli. Very good lineup. They actually had a very decent 2005 season and had, for the first time shown a bit of promise after 2002, 3, 4, where they, weren't great. In 05, they really put it together, and then they were hoping into 06 with the V8s, running it back with the same driver partnership, they would actually do well, but it didn't really work out. And again, much like Red Bull and Williams and Honda, they actually had a worse season than 2005. Now, why did they have a worse year than 2005? Well, because BMW Sauber became a thing. Nick Heidfeld and then Jacques Villeneuve / Robert Kubica in the second half of the year started to make their mark and, climb the order. Sauber weren't much of a midfield top-end running team. They were more towards the bottom, but with the BMW partnership, they really took a step forward and leveled up. And they signed Nick Heidfeld, who, of course, kind of went with BMW from Williams to Sauber, but was a BMW driver throughout the whole process. And then, of course, the other driver Jacques Villeneuve underperforming, and then Kubica stepping in, getting that podium, I believe, in Monza. Now we arrive at the top 3 teams, starting off with McLaren, driven of course by Kimi Raikkonen and Juan Pablo Montoya. Montoya leaving midway through 2006, essentially giving up on Formula 1, being replaced by Pedro de la Rosa. Raikkonen, after an incredible 2005 where he was the best driver, best car combo, but reliability cost him the championship, this was a year to forget. They didn't win a race, struggled for pace, reliability, it just didn't work. Their V8 era got off to a rough start. It was the debut though of the chrome and red livery, but not with Vodafone or Santander, with Emirates, which is often forgotten about. We then go to runners-up Ferrari. Michael Schumacher's final season in Formula 1. Of course, he returned later on, but was never quite the same. And the year where title number 8 slipped away in Suzuka with the engine blow up with 2 rounds, or technically a round to go if you don't include Suzuka itself. And, you know, it was a really insane title fight between him and Alonso. Of course, Massa, his teammate, Massa's first year dressed in red, he'd later challenge for the title in the future. Generally a car that got really quick towards the end of the season, and they were just as dominant, as fast as they were in the prime V10 years by the end of the year, after struggling initially, following on from that rocky 2005 season. And last but certainly not least, Renault, featuring the double world champion Fernando Alonso and Giancarlo Fisichella El Fisico. A great year for them. Ultimately, they were the most reliable package, the most consistent package to the season, and Fernando Alonso as a driver standing out from the crowd and making the difference as he always has done, and showing why he's world championship caliber. Anyway, that's the grid. Let's get into the race. We're racing at Nürburgring. I thought it'd be fitting, a track we don't have anymore on the calendar. Let's get to it. Now for this one, I thought we'd go to Istanbul Park, the Turkish Grand Prix, for 8 laps. Now we're going to take it very cautious on the opener, and then we'll kind of build up our pace, our confidence. We have 8 laps to hopefully have a fun race. So, underway into turn 1. Let's see how everybody behaves. We've got a bollard making its way over the track, so we'll let him cross the road. Car on my left, which we're likely going to clear as we head up the hill. Now then, will there be any chaos? Lots of smoke. But everyone's actually behaving okay, so that's a good sign. Easy does it as we head through the double left. We're P21, now P20. Side by side with the Super Agruvi as we head into turn 7. Easy does it. Front right still stone cold as we now make our way onto turn 8. Taking a tight line, we're going to get underneath the Midland. And we're going to get the other one, the teammate Albers, on the exit. Up the inside, try not to run into the back of the Toro Rosso. Midland still there. Getting a switchback and reversing lines down the back straight. Here we go. On the brakes. Around the outside we go. Into the hairpin. And now through these final couple of corners, the AI taking all their different lines at the moment. So just being a little bit cautious, as I mentioned on the first lap. But we come out of that unscathed, and P15. So we've gained 7 places, pretty decent start, to be fair, in this race. Into turn 1, we're going to go around the outside of the Toro Rosso. And we're going to get Rosberg on the way out, and we're going to get Coulthard as well. Not quite. Coulthard defends, runs it in a bit deep though. Way out of shape, so we go down the inside and back P12. So a nice triple overtake there, picking up 3 cars. Up next, either a Red Bull or another Toro Rosso. Toro Rosso. I'm going to assume it's Vitantonio Liuzzi as we head towards turn 8 again. Going to take a tight line. And that's going to work. We kind of spooked the Toro Rosso there offline, and now we're going to get the run on Rubens Barrichello. Up the inside we go on Rubinho. And that is now P10 already. Not quite in the points though just yet, as the front right is absolutely on fire through that turn 8 complex. Now then, down to the hairpin. Could we possibly challenge here? Not quite. It's one of the McLarens. Probably Juan Pablo Montoya. Yes, it is. Going to get the run as we go around the outside. And we're going to get a crack at Jarno Trulli as well. Drag race down to turn 1. Going to just go the long way around again, which seems to be working for us around there. And that's P8. And we're going to get the run on Kubica here. Not quite able to go through though. He seems to be strong through turn 8. Going straight through on the inside, taking a very tight line. And we're going to get the run on his teammate, Nick Heidfeld. On the way out, the battle of the Germans. Up the inside, lock up on the way through. But we take P6. We are absolutely cutting our way through the field right now. Let's see if we can now break into the top 5. Spot the breaking point. At the 100-meter wall. Just going to let the brake bias back as Heidfeld fights back. Up the inside. Hello. Jensen Button ahead of us. Trying to get the exit. Going to go to the inside this time. Oh, I had to get on the brakes. I thought I was going to run into my teammate there. Massa going very, very slow through turn 1. Thought I was going to completely T-bone the side of him there. Either way, we have passed Button in the process, so we're now P5. So that's good. Let's try and get Massa if we can. Also a bit of clean air for once. We get to enjoy this car a little bit, the sounds. And I think we're going to get turn 8 flat for the first time as well. I mean, look at the difference. We're getting such a big run on the AI. Massa defends. Of course, he won this race in real life in 2006. Good traction, but we've got the run and the slipstream on our teammate. Just got to try and brake late enough into the hairpin now. Massa around the outside, tries to fight it, still there. We're going to get the switchback on the go. Massa still there, but I think we're through. That's P4 for us. One more and we're on the podium. Into turn 1, making sure Massa's still not there, which he isn't. Bit of a moment there on the exit as we lose the back end. I believe this is Fisichella and Raikkonen battling for P2 right now. And we are catching at a rate of knots. The Red Baron is on a charge. We're going to get the run here. That's Alonso actually. And he fights back and holds on. Side by side, Alonso taking a shortcut over the chicane. Onto the back straight again. That might be Fisichella to be fair. The red helmet comes Alonso, I think, but the helmet tells me it's Fisichella. To the hairpin. Bit deep there. And the Renault fights back. We're going to be on the outside, which becomes the inside through the final corner. Very little low speed grip as we get into a drag race on the pit straight. We should have this on the inside of turn 1. Fisichella breaks in deep. We go through. Bit of contact on the way through, but still we'll take it. Let's see now if we can try and get that second place away from Kimi Raikkonen. And then Alonso, or if it's P1, if it is Fisichella, I'm not sure, we'll find out at the end. We've got a mountain to climb. I can see him just there through turn 7, so a bit of a gap to go. 2 laps after this. Got a mission on our hands. Right now we're trying to get Raikkonen. We'll probably get him here though. As you know, we're strong through turn 8, so we're going to just get the run. We're going to have to get out of it though, to not run into the back of the McLaren, but then we keep momentum going as we go down the inside. Let's get the apex for a change, which helps. And we'll see if we'll still be ahead down to the hairpin as the full C-back tries to rip my hand off. We'll see if Raikkonen maybe gets a slipstream. Spot the braking. Yep, he's right there. I can hear him. We've locked up and Raikkonen's straight back through. Right, let's see if we can try and set this one up. Got the exit. Come on. Here we go. Down the inside. Raikkonen goes a long way, but through once again. And that is now second place. Can we catch Alonso in 2 laps? We're about to find out what sort of pace we have. Let's push this car to its limits. And let's enjoy a bit of the engine sound as well while we're at it. That's a little bit deep. Overcommitted there with the speed into the hairpin. There's very little grip through there, but there's Alonso. He's visible as we head onto the last lap. Can we catch? About to find out. We're going to get a shot. We are going to get a shot. It's going to come down to the final 3 corners. Of Renault getting a good exit onto the straight. How brave do we feel under the brakes? It is Alonso. Here we go. So on the inside. I think we've got it straight away. That was a great bit of late braking. And we snatch it at the death. Michael Schumacher wins the Turkish Grand Prix. What a drive. What a car. What a driver. Job done. Race done. Last to first complete. I love this car. I really do. I think it's underrated. And I think it should have won a championship. Anyway, I'll leave the links down below for the circuit and the car. Go check those out. And give me your thoughts on the mod. Again, if you want to give it a go, feel free. I had a few screen freezes in that one, which I'll try to cover up with replay cameras so you guys don't notice them as much, but that might be on my end. Either way, a lot of fun, and yeah, I just love me a bit of V8 or V10 action. So yeah, very, very happy. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Like the video, subscribe, and like I said, it's going to be a multi-part series, so there'll be more coming soon. I don't know if I'm going to go in order or if I'll kind of jump around a bit. Either way, you guys stay tuned and we'll see what's next. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Take care as always. A big shout out to the members of the channel for supporting the content and the videos. Check the links down below, guys. On top of the mods you used, also my discount codes and affiliates. Also check out the 2 videos on screen if you haven't seen them already. And yeah guys, cheers for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.